Are you wondering what your favorite wacky nerds are up to? Search for Campaigns of the Plains on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and make sure to follow and like us to keep up with all our content and news. You might also find exclusive content for fans only. Remember to catch us on YouTube every Friday at noon for a new episode of Campaigns of the Plains.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 20 of season 2 of Campaigns of the Plains. We hit that sweet 20 mark.
Oh boy.
We're no longer teenagers, but not yet adults. I don't know. Anyway, just as a reminder, guys, every Friday we drop these videos on YouTube, so please go to our channel, subscribe, like, comment so that we know you guys like this content. We enjoy it very much. Let us know that you do too. And I will send the podcast portion over to our podcast master. Travis?
Hey everybody. Say, if you are running out to watch all your favorite Campaigns of the Plains episodes on, head on over to your favorite podcast platform. The newest episode every Wednesday. That is Wednesday after the video episode comes out on Friday. Download it. It works. Don't judge. Back to you, Joe.
Well, who would like to recap what happened in episode 19?
I got notes. My note title is Elly Can't Keep Secret. I wonder why. Any guesses? No?
Definitely.
No guesses?
Has not managed to do that at all.
Definitely no guesses at all? Everybody's silent. Perfect.
Good.
So Becky put on a bracelet and it showed us some shit about the Baron, about Baron and the king, who's like an evil guy. And then we saw some illusions about the girl that I summoned. And then going into a crystal, like how Race went into the crystal. And then, like, somebody wearing the armor that now Asher was there, too. And some guy that was dressed in dragon-looking armor. Dragon. And, we saw some shit. And then we were like, well, maybe we should go back there. Maybe that crystal lady is still there and it's a summon. And Elly maybe can fuck some shit up. I don't know. Maybe Elly can get a new summon. Maybe it's a bad idea. Who knows? We don't know if it's an Aeon or if it's a Esper. So, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So, we got to
The
K-Wood, and we went to find Elly's mentor, Reese's father, old family friend, Inlar, who lives on the Arbor level. And then we're gonna go with Fayth. And then we got some meat pies for a peace offering. And then we went in, and he had like all these locks and magical wardings and like a cut in his eye or whatever. He had a little bandana or whatever on his face. Like, things were a little weird. And he invited us in, and then we were trying to tell him without telling him why we were there, to ask him for his help. And then Becky started to tell the more truth, and then Inlar was giving Elly looks like, why you lying? And then she cracked like an egg under pressure, and then just spilled all the beans. And by all the beans, I mean all the beans. And then Becky brought up the fact that we were warriors of light. Elly mentioned that her summons are broken. She also talked about how Milos is royalty, and how Marquise is famous and dead. But not dead, but was dead, but isn't dead anymore, but is in a new body. And and we also introduced who I forgot was with us, because she's a very quiet person, Asher's mom. But she's there too, guys, I swear. She's probably just like, they told me this story too. I'm a little perplexed as well. Oh, I wonder if they know each other.
They didn't.
Okay, I didn't know because we found out Asher's mom was once a guardian to my father, to Elly's father, and I don't know, like Inlar and Elly's father knew each other for a long time, but I don't know if they knew each other in the same circles or whatever, or if they met each other after or whatever. But anyway, so that is what happened. Oh, Inlar already knew everything. That we told him, and it was a test. And he was friends with the Grand Maester the whole time. And he's got a magic eye that lets him see that Marquise is fucked up. and oh, he also has little plaques, with our pictures on them because we're awesome, and also wanted criminal. And there's a 5,000 gold bounty on each of us.
Damn.
I think that's it.
Did that seem like it covered it, everybody?
Yeah, more or less.
Anything we need to add?
He was surprised we got into the city without getting arrested.
That he was. You are not
Holy
incorrect.
shit. Did you write all of that down?
I did. I didn't write all of it down. I wrote down. I took notes like a mad woman, like I always do. But most of it was written down, but not in so easy to manage sentence structure. It's like taking notes in college all over again. No one could borrow my notes because I was the only one who could decipher them.
So,
You've got really great memory from last week.
yep.
Really great memory from last week.
Yeah,
Guys,
damn.
my memory from this episode to the next episode definitely not going to be this good.
It's an every other week kind of thing. It's
Yeah,
weird.
it's
Yeah,
really
it
weird.
is. It's because I took my brain juice today.
Mhm.
That's it right there.
That's
It's
right
but
there.
I don't take my brain juice every day.
All right.
Pineapple.
So,
You got one too. You got brain juice. Christian's going to have a great mess episode.
It's not
Inlar
been keeping me awake.
has left you in his home and told you to make yourselves comfortable, and that he has set out to perhaps ward this home a little more against any type of eavesdropping or scrying eyes. What are you guys doing in the meantime?
You got to think about Mother Matoya.
Yeah, I'll probably page through the Mother Matoya book and see why it is so lucky.
Sure. So, you thumb through the pages and start reading that Mother Matoya is a myth in this world. She's said to have been seen by certain travelers of great importance throughout the last at least 2 great calamities. And she aids those who would otherwise be lost. She always appears no matter where. There are a number of different accounts of her not only being here in the state of Emerald, but also some of the roads leading out of Diamante, even in Saffras. It just seems like her house seems to travel, or she's able to move it. She is known as a great practitioner of magic. Some would even say the premier of black magics. And she helps travelers of great importance by being a refuge and a haven, as well as informational source for those with great destinies.
Huh, cool. I mean, like, I already know, but, like, some people think she's a myth. Like, that's how Seldo.
Then
And,
we are so lucky to have seen it.
Yeah, and I guess, like, her house can be some. So that's why it just kind of appeared out of nowhere.
Oh,
And, she's also, been around for a while, at least since, 2 calamities ago. And, helped, travelers and stuff.
well,
Especially with, great death.
we were travelers, and maybe we have a great destiny. I think we check all the boxes. We should have asked for her autograph.
I'm sure it would have been really lost and stuff. I'm sure it's one of those who wants to stay a myth hospital.
I think that would be kind of fun to be.
I mean, I'm sure Monkey Man thinks that. Really.
I'm not sure what you're...
Being famous isn't what it's all cracked up to.
I'll say I don't even think he gets royalties from the books.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
I'm going to write a very stern letter to the editor. Your Honor, you deserve to get ones.
It's fun.
Ellie, it says right on the subtitle, these are unauthorized autobiographies. They know what they do.
Yes, they made masterpieces. These. I mean, I've only read the first 1.5 books, but they are fantastic.
Anyway, important matters at hand.
Yes, we're in danger, but we've been in danger since I
Nothing
met
has
you.
changed, yeah.
Yes,
So,
I do feel a lot of this is kind of in
Yeah.
not all of it, but a lot.
Okay. Well, so Ilar comes back inside. He looks a little winded. Looks like he's been probably casting quite a few spells, and he goes back latches all of the door latches again, seals the door as well, and then again watches for the ripple effect to meet itself on one of the walls, and then he kind of walks over to one of the more worn chairs, wooden chairs in the room, and kind of sits down, and he kind of, alright, I think it should be safe enough to speak now. So, let us first approach the problem of your summoning, Elly.
I was just gonna start, okay?
Well,
I can summon Poppy.
I would still like to know how you can summon, because even given the Grandmaster's blessing, you failed your test, so...
Well, you know what's weird is I summoned Poppy method.
That is an even bigger question. When you failed your test here in the K-Wood, you should not have been able to summon anything at all.
Yes, I was a little surprised when he showed up, but also quite happy because we were fighting things.
And he kind of looks around to everyone and says, and then looks back to you and says, "Do you trust your friends as guardians?"
Well, iffy on Becky, but for the most part, I was all of them, yes. Oh, Becky, I love you the most, it's okay.
So he looks around and he says, then this information that I'm giving you will should not leave the room, at least until the church is held to a higher standard. But when a summoner passes the trials and makes contact with the Fayth, pact is formed. And if the summoner is worthy enough, it's not just the Fayth inside of the crystal that makes this pact with the summoner. It is all Aeons, Espers, and Eidolons.
I haven't heard that one. What's that?
Eidolons are unsanctioned summons. Very rare or powerful summons.
No.
Okay, so we might know where crystal is, and we don't know if it's an Aeon or an Esper. Could it be these Eidolons?
It could be an Eidolon, yes.
Do they look like people?
They act just like Fayth.
I've summoned two.
No,
different ones.
I'm telling you that usually they form a summon just like, and he points to,
Oh, Papa.
yes, like the carbuncle there.
But she can know she wants to be.
Great.
Wait, okay, so I didn't pass my test, so I know that it's my son.
That is a very good question, one I am keen on finding out as well, because when a summoner fails their test and the pact is not made, that person is shut out from ever being able to reach out and make a pact with any Fayth.
Okay, well, I have the summon Titan every time I try and summon.
What exactly do you summon?
First time, the girl, I asked her to fight, and she created somebody, she tornado.
She healed me.
Oh, yeah, she did. She healed all her friends.
Yeah, that one was actually
Yeah,
helpful.
she was.
That was Becky that created the tornado.
She healed all of my friends. And then when we were in the old city underground, what was it called? Baron. I summoned this beautiful girl here, and then she summoned
Yeah,
us.
that one was not helpful.
It was very helpful. It killed what was attacking us.
And almost us.
But not quite us. But they look like people. I asked them to, I can't control or do, I asked them to help, and then they do something.
Well,
And we saw her in a vision. The last one. We saw her in a vision. She jumped into a crystal like Reese did. And we think that crystal's still in...
he nods his head and he, with some effort, stands up from the chair and goes to another bookcase that he has. And he kind of thumbs along and he finds this old book. It doesn't even have a title in it at all. And he lays it in front of you all as well. And he says, I think these should help you. And he goes back and grabs one more book. The Downfall of Baron is the second book that he lays in front of you. So
that matches my set.
well, then this will finish the tale for you. And he pushes the other book towards you and he says, this book contains very old, very secretive information that should not be let out. You see, a long time ago, when Farplane and Lifestream were forming, souls that had been passed and had been strong enough to reform themselves, or were great heroes or great villains, even in the past, would be summoned by certain summoners from the Lifestream itself. especially if an area held their memories. These summons called visions. A long time ago, these summoners that could summon these visions sought after to try to summon their loved ones, and unfortunately sometimes that wouldn't go for the best. And that's a reason that we had, or have had, a very big influx of fiends as well. If a soul becomes stagnant and does not move on and is not reborn, there's a possibility of it becoming corrupt.
So I shouldn't be summoned.
Just be very careful around the church, as they are the ones long ago that hunted down these vision summoners.
Do you think that I was summoned too?
You should be able to, but remember, there is certain things that you must train as a summoner. If you have emotions about a certain summon, it may become impossible to focus and summon it.
Okay, so I'm struggling tight because it used to be Reese, but it is now tight, but he's tight. I think that could be why I can't summon him. So how do I fix that?
To search your emotions. It's no longer Reese,
I bet
but what you're summoning is not Reese.
that's true.
And that may be your problem right there. I know you and I both cared for Reese a lot, but when you summon, you're not summoning Reese. When you attempt to summon and you summon these visions, you're trying to summon somebody, someone. That's not Reese. You're trying to summon...
I can try next time. Should I stop trying to summon this thing? I don't really know how to stop. They're very helpful.
I'm not one to try to tell you to stop. Just be very careful. I can't teach you how to not summon these visions because myself am not a vision summoner and I know of nobody else who may be able to teach you.
I can't vision.
To the best of our knowledge, yes.
Oh, good. I'm in more danger.
So, in the eyes of the church, this is
So when I
considered
kept
illegal.
joking that if my friends died, I could resummon them, I was actually not joking.
You're actually not joking, but that is...
That
Dear.
doesn't.
I wouldn't actually. I'm honestly worried that any would send you. Can't do that, can I? He's still kind of.
You best not around him.
That's why I usually make people stand.
It's quarter time, Marquise.
That just make me question.
Oh no,
though,
she's doing it again.
Is Marquise in danger?
Milos, you had a question?
Does the book about things, does it list, like, awesome that she could summon? Or does it just talk about the history?
No, it's just a history of known vision summoners. It's impossible to tell what visions might be summoned. As I said, the only thing I truly know about vision summoning is that when you summon, you're summoning something from an area with a lot of tied emotions. So, you use that area basically as a lure to anyone, anything that may be tied to that certain place, then
That would make sense. I summoned a girl in Barren, and then when we saw the vision, that's where she was from. He said,
it would
I don't know about that. Is Marquise in
fiend. He's not in danger of becoming...
Fiend.
Well, I'm glad that part's not.
And he looks over at you, Marquise, and he says, "No, I don't think so. Like I said, he's an oddity. Normally I can sense and see unsense, but he doesn't have the same makeup as somebody who is unsent.
So the Farkland definitely.
He does have a number of fireflies, so
Did I see that too? No.
I can't see it.
You said you had to try and find yourself.
No, don't care.
Just don't stand too close.
Why must you sense? Okay, but do they need you to do?
Usually some around and we cause violence and murder.
Okay, but what happens when other things die around the world? There's not always summoners.
Fiends. Not all. I don't really know how all.
Usually it's only observed that people and fiends themselves are the ones that generate fireflies when they die.
The killed recently are fiends. No people yet. Nope, not yet.
I'm
No
concerned
people
by
yet.
the yet in that state.
Usually, when animals die, they do not produce any type of fireflies or anything. So,
Recent. Well, and didn't take his pets.
What if you just stopped trying to sense?
They're just animals, and that's fine. But I have to do it to people. It just seemed like that maybe that would be a good idea.
What if didn't work in it?
But it does. You've seen me do it.
Right, but there's a little more to it.
I've never die do you have? Please explain.
Well, I don't know all of the specifics, but I do know, well, at least we're supposed to know, that there's some sort of actual act, yes. Well, what if no one is going there?
People are.
What if they aren't?
Oh, they might not, which is why we're trying to stop aeons being corrupted.
So what if you stopped trying to send us to fix it?
Because if fireflies where they are, fix it.
My concern is that there's something else at play, and trying to send things where they aren't reaching the far plane might be making things or someone more powerful.
Are things not going?
No idea. Everything I've sent seems to find its way or leave the area.
You are all much more knowledgeable about these sorts of things, and I have not told this one. But I have one vivid memory before I have no idea what that is. When I was there, what seemed to be this just internal floating, there was a voice who said to me, "The engine of death is," and then suddenly I am shooting across, and then
I don't know what any of that means, but that's troubling. What do you think?
It's very troubling.
It's very troubling. I can't stop smiling because I'm nervous.
The engine of death is broken, you say.
That's what they told me. I don't know what that means, but that leads me to think that, given what you're saying, maybe people are not reaching the far plane.
And you see for the first time as Juniper actually speaks up, and she says, "Well, there is one thing that has been bothering me lately." And she kind of nods to Omar, and she says, "I make materia, and we hear the green word." She points to Asher, and she says, "My abilities to create materia have been somewhat lessened of late. Materia I create are not as strong. And for those of you who do not know how materia is created, when souls re-enter the life stream, we use some of that residual energy to create materia. And that residual energy has been lessened of late. Something I was hoping would be solved with finding out what is going on with this corruption."
Been for 20 years. I don't know how long. Well, so I would have been stuck for 2 days. I mean, it's possible that it might have been a slow start, or maybe it took this long to notice that things aren't quite right.
Oh, I saw the diabetes.
Well, our assumption of what we see on the far planes are memories. So the fireflies could just be forming off of your memories. But usually they can only copy things that have died, at very least.
It seems to fit the situation.
Well, this is definitely something to dig into a little bit more. I will have to do a little more research and get back to you on what I find. That is the other thing. What is supposed to be wrong with Garuda?
We were just told that she was the next one that was featured.
They were what?
Potentially being corrupted, I think.
By the time we got to Titan, they had our person to corrupt us.
Very troubling.
But they fixed that race. So we're hoping we can catch that. Because I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to fix it at all to begin with. I'm hoping that Juniper can do something that she mentioned.
Omar looks towards her, and she kind of shows him the bracelet that she has, and she says, "I've been studying the corruption for some time. I think I've found a way to at least negate some of its effects, but I haven't ever tested it on Fayth or an Esper or an Aeon or anything, just people, so I don't know how effective that will be."
Well, in the 2 weeks that I'm here, I've learned trial by fire. Best way to learn things.
Literally fire.
Yes, there was some fire, yes. I think I set you all on fire by accident today.
Well, problem will be to get you all into the chamber. That'll be the tough part.
I mean, I can't fail the trial twice in a row, right?
I'll have to take the trial again.
I can't fail it twice, right? Right?
You will have guardians this time,
Yay! Yeah, so when
Can
we
you
live
die in this?
The trials?
No.
It's very rare for one to die. Usually, proctors...
fine.
Usually proctors are there to rescue anyone who may be in danger, but you will not have that luxury should you go in.
Chance to do to see Titan trial. Also, there was
Well, from what I understand from the reports that I received from the Grand Maester, Fayth Crystal had been moved or attempted to be abducted.
It was taken, and they said they had pulled the crystal.
Fayth.
Got the knot.
No, you won't. Trial resets for everyone.
I can tell you that it's we aren't gonna die.
Is the hope, but getting you into the trial chamber will be the hardest part, as they are being thoroughly guarded at the moment, and you are all wanted criminals.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. Disguises? Disguises?
Could attempt to sneak in, but I think I have a plan that might work a little better, even though it may require a little footwork from all of you.
Okay, I think we could do that. We all have feet.
Okay, well, it's already late, but some of the shops are still open in town. You obviously should not leave my domicile, but if there's anything I can get for you, certainly go out into the town and try to purchase it for you.
Do you know any shops that sell like spell scrolls?
There is one, yes.
I'm looking for anything that can be ritually cast. I can do like detect magic and comprehend. So I'm trying to.
You should learn how to identify things. That would be very. Then I wouldn't have
Yeah.
pulled a card from that magic deck that made all my magical items.
Oh yeah. Anyway, how much?
I have to carry the books in a real bag now. They're heavy.
Useful.
Yeah, they are. It sucks.
Milos, because he convinced me to pull the card.
It's fine. You survive.
He must be another handy haversack.
It's pretty rare.
I don't believe that at all.
So, yes, I'd ask, do you know how much those kind of go for? Like, level ones?
Level 1, was there a specific school that you were looking for, or a specific spell?
Probably,
I can certainly attempt to find one. Let's see here. Depending on the spell, it should go anywhere between 50 to 100 gold.
so I'll hand 100 gold.
I shall bring
Now,
your
what are
change back. Anything
that?
else? I shall bring your change back. Is there anything else anybody needed? Tent should be easy enough
I
to...
do need a
Can you
tent.
get one that's
Fireproof.
not flammable?
Yes.
Well, I mean, the best that they might have is a leather tent. Though there's a little less flammable than cloth.
Oh, that's good. We'll take that.
Seems like
Yeah, definitely.
a choice.
Do you want to ask him about the maybe haversack?
I don't know that is some buy.
Magical items do exist, although they are very spendy. I don't know what may be carried, but can certainly check.
Hey, while you're out, I guess look for a spell scroll for, I think, make like little like domes or houses out of magic. So like look for that. I saw something in the back. I'll hand another 100 gold over.
How did you get so much money?
Don't worry about it. And which I think that's a level. I don't know how much that would cost.
You're talking about like Tiny Hut?
What's that?
You're talking about like Tiny Hut?
Yeah.
Okay. Tiny Hut is a 3rd level spell, so
Yeah.
that one might cost you a little more money.
Okay.
Let me double check here. So level 3 spells could go anywhere between 101 gold to 275 gold.
Okay. So I'll tell him. Do we really want like a December like them?
Oh, I can pay for the tent. How much is a tent?
I'm talking about magic.
Oh!
And I will hand over 15 more gold and then 600 silver. Sorry, this is all the change.
So you're giving him 215 gold and how much silver? 600 silver.
600.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he looks
It's
at
like
all of
60
this.
gold.
What's that?
It's only like 6.
He gave 100 for
No,
the
it is
initial
the
spell.
silver, the silver.
Yeah,
Oh.
60 silver is like 60 gold.
Yeah.
600 silver, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's a lot of money, but it's also not like.
Yeah, so
I mean,
should
physically,
have
it's a lot of
the-
money.
The equivalent of 275 gold.
Yep. He just
Yeah.
looks at this giant bag of silver and he's like, right.
Becky, I thought you said you didn't have any money.
Yeah, I don't. He has it all. Anyway,
No, that makes sense.
look for the tiny hut first, and if they don't have that, then buy a dog. So prioritize tiny.
Okay,
And if you can find a good deal, then like get nuts.
fair enough.
Should we get potions? Do you need more alcohol supplies?
A few staples might, but no. sure what sort of other strange ingredients might be found around here. I still have plenty of others that I've had time to study.
Well, the Warded Witch should have some chemical ingredients if you'd like. I believe she does a varying dosage of random assortments for alchemical learners, and it usually only costs about 5 gold.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to expand. I'll give him. What do you give me?
I gave you 50 gold.
Yeah. I'll give him 30 gold.
Okay.
To try to anything that might beneficial clearing certain effects, possibly. Well, try to think of what to make sure and defend ourselves against.
That petrification was a bitch.
Yes.
Excuse me. I learned it from her.
Well, I would focus on any detriment effects. I've already got things to remove petrification, blindness, so those I might avoid. Also, if there is anything for enhanced heal might hurt.
Fair enough. Did you also want me to grab you the bag of alchemical items as well?
Yes.
Fair enough. Does anybody else need anything from town? There are.
I need some and a few. I was gonna grab some, but I told everyone that a few days ago the most scars.
He thinks for a moment. He's like, okay, it shouldn't cost any more than 5 silver. Anything else for anyone?
No contact
Yep.
Are
you asking out loud?
Yeah. Yes, I had them in the bag of holding, and I think that they're all. Here you go.
You did not have the gems.
Becky had the gems. Okay, I didn't know what I was holding.
And then how much was that ruby worth that she took for her monster friend?
10 gold.
It was 10 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do you want?
I just need anything.
Here, you can have this sapphire.
Sure.
Yeah, you search through the bag and you find 3 small sapphires totaling about 8 gold. I will add it to the textile. Alright, I shall be back later and shall have a meal and speak about tomorrow's plans.
Thanks for tuning in to Campaigns of the Plains channel. Catch new material every Friday on YouTube, and make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Now, on with the show.
So, Josh, explain to me what the trial was like before.
When you were in the trial, you were in a cave system. And while you were in the cave system, there were a number of tunnels with very hard, very strong wind pressures, and you had to use your best intuition to change the air pressure in the tunnels to make it so you could basically find your way out of this maze.
Okay, but it's different every time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell here kind of what it was like the first time, just so we have some kind of context clues of what it could be like. The changes though. I got lost. Directions are not my good point. And I was by myself. Guardians would have helped.
Expert, but should you not have waited until you had guardians?
You would know that summoners in training do not get guardians.
Oh, you don't get them until you're summoned.
Right.
The first one, fortunately, had very good selection.
Yeah, we could know that.
I hope one of you do, just in case. It's different every time.
Listening from not into.
Actually, Dim just farted, so.
I actually think it might have been Dirk.
I'm claiming it. About an hour and a half, 2 hours pass, and Ilmar comes back. Let's see if he was able to obtain your spell scroll, Becky. So he was unable to find the tiny hut spell, but he was able to find you the identify scroll. So he gives you the 115 and 600 silver back.
150.
115 gold and the 600 silver back.
Cool.
He apologizes. He said they didn't have very many high-ranking spell scrolls, so I apologize.
Oh, that's awesome.
He takes down a small bag from his back as well, and hands you over a pair of knitting needles and or whatever, crochet hook, whatever you're making.
No,
Are you
she's
knitting or-
knitting.
She's knitting?
She's
Okay.
knitting.
And he says they had a very limited color of schemes for color, mostly greens, browns,
Well,
golds.
that's okay. I think gold would look perfect.
What are you? You are not.
Everybody's getting one,
And
It's just-
Jin,
they're
he
gonna
hands
be
you a
these
small
three
spool of
colors.
twine.
but I think gold is for you. I think Asher would be or gold with that black, all black
Oh, yeah.
armor. Gold.
She's singling herself in the city.
Gold. You have gold. Okay.
I think she just wants to buy one color yard and just make a bunch of stars.
Okay.
It's gold.
Well,
All
they
the
only-
red gold.
They only had gold, green, and brown.
So for you, Marquise, he comes back with a bag of
Fair Isle.
healing reagents,
Yeah,
random
pattern,
healing
you know,
reagents.
dragon
So
animals.
you have enough uses in that bag to make 15 potions.
Ooh.
Okay, next
Um,
session I'm going to bring my knitting needles.
But he said the old hag at the store also bid me to give you this as well. It's a book with a couple of her own makings of magical item or alchemical items. And he hands you a book. As you kind of thumb through it, there is a recipe for echo herbs, which I'll give you the description here whenever you're ready. Echo herbs can be used to cure silence and also negate the effects of the silence spell for one target.
Nice.
And I'm getting
Other
flashbacks.
users. What's that?
Getting flashbacks to one.
There is also another recipe called Maiden's Kiss. Huh?
You better not be eating that soon.
And it will cure one target of the toad status effect.
I don't know why I asked.
There are four recipes in this book.
Oh boy.
Whenever you're ready for the other one.
Yep.
The other one is it just is called Mallet. And it grants the user advantage on saving throws against confusion and rage. And at the very, very back, you find one more item recipe for a high potion. So it's okay. Your high potion is basically a greater potion of healing, but it is considered tier 2, so it will take up double the amount of ingredients as a regular potion. That is your first tier 2 alchemical recipe.
Yeah. So you said it's double.
Yeah, it costs you double the materials to make. And of course, it's just basically a healing potion, so it will heal 44 plus 4. And he hands you back 5 gold. Since this is the change from what you had left over. So he goes into the kitchen and starts cooking for you guys. It doesn't take him long to whip up a bachelor meal, basically. Some meat, some taters,
We have
some
pies.
roots. What? You already ate the pies as a luncheon, late luncheon. But yeah, basically some fried meats, some potatoes, and some roots, basically, with minimal seasoning, to say the least. So, but enough to feed everyone. Over dinner, he starts speaking about plans for tomorrow. He says, I know of one way to get you inside, at least to the trial chamber. There used to be an old covenant with the Sylph nearby. If you were able to gain their favor, you may be able to use one of their portals that they used to come in and tend to the trials. The last known portal to the Sylph's lands was just outside our western gate, right at the edge of the mist. You'll know it's by circle of red-capped mushrooms, with nothing growing in the middle. I think I may be able to sneak you out of the gates, the western gates, tomorrow, since they're nearby. Leave early enough, point you in the right direction, but I cannot leave the city as I am under watch by the guardians.
Okay, I think we can find out.
Just be prepared, because if you do gain the favor of the sylphs, then you'll be going directly to the trials, and won't be able to come back out of the trials until completed your tasks.
Suggestion, how best to gain some.
There was a rumor that the sylphs liked rhymes, sweets, and sweet-smelling herbs.
So we should have asked us.
I certainly can. It's fairly late, but I think there are a couple of my neighbors who may be willing to part with some homemade sweets.
Do you want to make some?
I do not. He kind of points to his pantry and he says, I'm living fairly sparsely since it's just me now.
All that's in here is bachelor chat.
Yep, but I'm assuming
You
that
should mama.
it would be rather awkward, me living with my best friend's widow.
Why?
Hmm?
Why? It makes sense financially.
Socially, perhaps not, though. I cannot leave my post here.
Mama, maybe I'll get her a dog.
And he leaves for a few minutes, and you see him. He comes back with a small leather satchel of hard candies, sorted hard candies, for you all.
Were those originals?
No.
Is that the little strawberry candies?
No, they're the little ones that look like conch shells that only old people have, you know?
Yeah.
They're like mint flavored, and some of them are like the tube stretched ones that are like different colors too. You ever seen those conch shells?
I'm sure I have. I just
Okay.
Some ribbon candies from last Christmas.
Mm-hmm. That kind that you always had in your like great grandma or grandma always had those tins, you know.
After supper, I think Becky starts the process of writing bell.
All right.
So while all this is going on, she's working on it. Needs 2 hours for first level.
Yes.
Elspeth grabs like all the pillows and piles them next to Becky, and then sits down and starts knitting a scarf.
As you're writing down the spell, Becky, you hear click, clack, 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 clack. 2 knitting needles hitting each other every once in a while.
It's not helping.
But this one's for you.
Knit quiet.
I can't. I don't know how. I can't.
Hey, Elly, you used to summon things, and now you summon it, so I believe in this.
Maybe if I put some beeswax on.
You look at Omar and he's like,
Okay, it's just gonna be loud.
anybody else doing anything before the end of the night?
I mean, wearing potions, I guess.
Yeah? What are you preparing?
I'll get back to you.
Okay. So I'll have you roll some medicine checks to
Yeah.
see how well they come out. Asher, Juniper sits down with you and says, I think it's time that we work together and start working on hearing the green voice. That's how it starts for all of us, but we'll get some practice in tonight. And she goes into one of the rooms and she sets up her atelier for both of you to go inside. But just the two of you.
Use the door in the middle.
Yep.
Door.
Yep. But yeah, you work with her and begin to focus on the green word. I want you to go ahead and you're trained in Arcana, right?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and have you roll an Arcana check.
Cool. Well, I rolled a 3, so that's a 9.
9. It's a little hard to hear the green voice here, but you're learning, so you don't get quite as far as your mom had hoped, but
Percent.
yeah, she's not pushing you, but she's also like, okay, we'll try again.
Yeah, I always get nervous.
A little performance anxiety.
Always. Always.
All right. Dan, are you doing anything before bed?
Yeah, I'm sneaking too.
Sneak into his pantry.
I want my off if I fall behind.
All right.
I have jerky.
So you go into his pantry and you start feeding them snacks, and they're all munching down, and yeah, they look pretty full. So you empty the pantry out of like old bread and some dried meat that he's got in there, some fish too. dried berries. They all have like full belly waddles now.
March back. Poppy's following them because she wants to be part of the club, but she
Sure.
doesn't need to eat.
Fair enough.
Every
Milos,
once
are you
in a
doing
while,
anything?
Poppy scratches at the door where Asher is. Like, let me in.
Oh.
I'm actually trained in medicine as well, so I potentially help Mark with potion sets.
If you'd like assistance, Marquise.
I'm not gonna that's
I'm familiar with herbs and such, so maybe I can help you hummus some of them, get them a nice fine brown, so they're just speed things along.
that would be quite useful. Yeah, I really want to kind of hoping that echo herbs could be useful. So I want to try a couple of those. Okay.
I'm just going to call your bag of 15 what you're using for these. So if you're making 2, that'll be -1, so you're down to 13 uses out of that bag.
20.
Mm-hmm. Since they're just a tier 1.
Okay. We might need to do a balance pass on some of these too, because I think some of the early stuff was in. Because I remember on the lesser potion, at one point you had said it's 1d4 plus int mod times 2 plus PC.
Oh, yeah.
Which to me seems a little high. But
Yeah. And your class is based off of wisdom, yeah.
Intelligence.
And then your other potion too should be based off of int. All your potions should be based off of int.
Oh.
So I apologize. Was thinking.
Well, only one of them was what it is.
Just basically use your int for it. But yeah, no. Let's do that. Was a D4 plus your int mod. Yay, homebrew! If you guys would like to try these classes out after we practice them, let me know. Maybe I will put them in a Patreon for you guys to play. So let us know down in the comments or whatnot. Post to our socials that you would like to see that kind of thing.
Okay. Well,
yep.
I'll make.
You also do have the new toys, the inhaler versions as well. You have 3 of those. You would like to put any potions in those.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder.
Well, okay, so I have to see. I don't have this.
Nope.
So, you know what? I will make 3 high potions and put those in the
apparatus. Okay. So they are 2 uses each, so that's 6 off of your 13. Which leave you with 7 uses.
I just imagine Marquise has a chemistry set out on the table.
He does have his Olympic set.
He found it for me.
Yeah, his magical Olympic set. So that way he's basically got his lab to be able to use his proficiency in his medicine checks.
You said it's called mallet?
Mm-hmm.
I'll make 2 of those.
2 mallets?
Yeah.
Alright, puts you down 5.
Okay. I'm gonna. I think that's a little old.
Okay. So I'm just gonna have you roll 1 medicine check for each different type of item. So let's go ahead and have you roll with advantage since Milos is helping you here for the echo herbs.
Is this an intelligence check?
Medicine check. Medicine check.
So 15.
15. All right. Yeah, you managed to make 2 sets of echo herbs. No problem there.
Okay.
Let's do the mallets next.
21.
Number 1. These seemed to come out at a pretty high quality. You notice that they have a slight healing effect to them. Go ahead and roll me a d4. 2. So anyone who you use on this mallet on will also heal for 2. And then let's do high potions.
Okay. 19.
19. So you managed to make 3 of these high potions in the inhaler set. All right. Anybody doing anything else tonight?
How many rooms are there?
There are 3 rooms besides the one that Ilmar is using.
Bug buddies? Okay. Can I read to you again? So, I was really interested in the book that the one about the weird summoning ship. Okay. Do you want me to read that? Or do you want to continue on with chapter 12, book 2, Marquis 7? You're right. We deserve to have a little fun tonight.
Alright, so you guys actually find Reese's
Keys
old
was
room.
hot on the case.
It's like advanced calculus. It's just like, it's like, nope.
So you find a Reese's old room, actually, and you guys bunk down for the night, and you read to Din. There are a number of couches, too, if you guys want to sleep in the living room, or what have you. But there's also 2 additional rooms, however you want to find yourself. But you all do get a long rest in after the day's events. Remember, you were down HP to leave that HP gone, because you've not been healed yet. But the next morning, you do get a quick breakfast, as Ilmar is waking everybody up just before dawn. He goes around waking everybody up and serves you a quick kind of cold breakfast of some fruits and bread and a little bit of cheese before you leave. And Juniper's actually going to try to remove some of the corruption on you, Asher.
Oh, okay.
She removes 4, exactly 4.
Yeah,
so
I'm back to where we
yep.
went on a long rest. Oh, I feel so good.
Is that all the corruption gone except for the 1 point Marquis still has?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yep. So that is basically all the corruption gone except for the point that Marquis has. So Ilmar goes around and gives you guys some dark cloaks to throw on over your gear. They're not super high quality by any means, but they seem to be able to obfuscate your faces if you pull the hoods over.
Tuck my ears.
And he says, alright, so the town will just be waking up, so we need to be extra quiet.
No problem. Pretend you're just a kid. Good girl. Good boy. Good you.
Good them.
Good you.
Good for you. You good. Alright, so I need you all to make me stealth checks.
Wait.
I remember.
Wait, I have something that can help.
Oh, I remember I added that.
Are you casting without a, or
Yeah, I think so.
pass without a trace?
Yeah.
Oh, so hard.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna pass without a trace?
Yeah.
Alright, so everybody gets plus 10 to their rolls. Juniper as well. Not terrible. 22.
27 at disadvantage.
Nice.
Oh.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. 17. I rolled a 5. 25.
25. And then Ilmar too. He got 29. So he's good. So it kind of leads you along the shadows that are being cast along the trees to the western gate. And it seems like the guards are changing shift right about now, so nobody there to notice you as they're switching, and he points you to the northwest and he says, follow this trail. There's going to be a small game path to the northwest. Follow that. You should find clearing where the mushrooms will be.
So it's just, do we have to summon them?
No, you'll step inside the ring to be taken to the Silklands. Just be very careful, as not all of the Sils are honest. So he kind of does one of these after a second, and he kind of wipes his face. He's like, go. Be safe. All right.
Yeah.
We haven't been safe since we met each other.
So there isn't a game trail right away. You are going to have to find it. Who would like to lead this party into the wilderness?
Just push Juniper up front and like, do it.
Do it, mommy.
Juniper's like, I know this forest decently enough, but and I can help, but
I can try, but I do get lost easy.
perhaps not you.
Okay, do it,
Din?
Din.
Oh, hell, I'll only go.
Oh,
I just, yeah.
as Din's like, I'll do it. You kind of push back Din and kind of like bump into her a little bit and walk past and just start walking.
You two could help each other and play nice.
Yeah, Pet, yeah.
Oh.
Everybody gave me dirty looks. Both gave me dirty looks.
Go ahead and roll me a nature check.
I'm gonna lock them in a room
Yep.
so they can sort out the differences.
Cool. That's just bad luck. You know what? I have a point of luck. I'm going to use it.
All right.
The same roll.
Not so lucky today.
What's a 10?
10. So, Becky looks like she knows what she's doing, but you guys travel for a good, 10, 15, 20 minutes. The sun starts to come up, and there's no sign of a game trail here.
Becky, we're lost.
Whatever. I took the card, okay? I'm trying to, live my truth.
You're right. I should be more
And
assertive.
embrace my
And I
power.
just start walking in a direction, looking around for the game trail.
Go ahead and make me a nature check.
Hey, I'm proficient. 16.
It takes some doing, but you do find a small game trail, a light path heading, north of your current direction.
Seems like I just start walking.
And Juniper's like, that is north at least.
That's what I said. I'm
So
facing this way. It's north.
you guys follow this trail, and it is kind of the beginning of spring, so you're seeing many different leaves budding on certain foliage and berries growing on others. It's rather cool this morning, and so pulling the cloak up tight might not be a bad idea. Few rays of sun that do escape
Should put
between
pants on.
the tops of the trees are enough to warm you for a couple of seconds, but then shade takes over. But you follow the trail for some time and eventually come to a clearing, and there is a ring in the center, red cat mushrooms with nothing growing in the center.
This
What
sounds
do you
like the right place. I walk into it.
So you walk into it, and immediately you guys see as Elly disappears into a ripple.
Did she have the candy? We all got. Oh.
There was only one bag of candy, so who's carrying the candy?
Ellie's got candy.
Oh. Okay.
Name of the title.
Cool.
Ellie's got the
candy.
So Din
I
jumps
candy.
into the portal next. Who's following?
I'll follow.
Okay. Marquise steps over the line of mushrooms and walks in. Juniper looks at you and says, as well.
Go.
And the two of them walk through the portal.
Did you think you'd be saving the world with your mom by your side?
I thought my mom was dead.
I'll grab Becky's hand and pull her in with me.
Alright, so there's a little disorientation as the color of the foliage around you begins to change. The tree leaves begin to turn this purplish color, and the grass underneath has this very vibrant, neon green color. All the colors here seem to offend most of your eyes immediately, as it is this neon almost coloration. Purple in the trees is neon. The light coming through the trees itself is almost this neon bluish color. So everything here is very off. And immediately upon Milos and Becky coming through, you start to hear what sounds like the fluttering of wings and slight giggles all around you. And that is where we will pick up next episode.
I was about to start talking, but cool.
Alright, guys.
Oh boy.
We're in the Sylphlands.
They're in the Sylphlands. We'll see what happens next time, if they can gain the Sylph's favor. Again, remember to check us out on YouTube every Friday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, comment. We appreciate it. Every Wednesday, of course, you can find our podcasts of the previous Friday's episode. Anywhere you get your Google, Apple, Spotify podcast apps. So, we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
But really, it's 7 weeks away.
Thank you for tuning in to the Campaigns of the Plains channel. Catch new material every Friday on YouTube, and make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.